Hello and good evening. Can you see and hear me? If somebody can just quickly type in the chat, yes, I can see and hear you, that would be great. If not, let me do some troubleshooting. I think I can be seen and heard. All right. Well, let's see. Let's hop right to it. Are there any requests today? So I plan on doing a little bit on all parts of the body, just a simple relaxing, releasing, stretching. But if there's any part of your body that is telling you that it needs a little extra care and love, let me know in the chat and we can all work out those kinks together. All right. Today we will be using a chair and a mat. So let's start sitting on our chair. There we go. All right. Now I can be seen. Good. So let's just start sitting up nice and tall. Let's find the feet wide and planted in the ground. And let's start with some contracting and some releasing. So this is similar to a cat and cow that you would do in a yoga class, except a little bit easier because you're on a chair. So let's take a big inhale in, feeling the ribs expand and nice and buoyant on top of those hips. And on the exhale, let's feel the belly button go towards the spine and curl over. So we're creating a nice dome. I like to hold my knees to help me find that dome. If you're like me and you have a tight back, you'll feel all of the muscles on the sides of the spine starting to open up. And on the inhale, pressing down into the tops of the thighs. Feel from almost like you're zipping up the whole torso, and the chest, the sternum area shines towards the ceiling on the inhale. And on the exhale, you find a little dome and you pull back on those knees so you feel like that belly button is going towards the wall behind you. And on the inhale, pressing down into the thighs, feeling that sternum towards the ceiling. And exhale to dome. Inhale to stretch. And we come back to sit up nice and tall, and let's just spill to one side. Coming back up. Spilling to the other side. Gentle, easy. Coming back up. Spilling to a side. Coming back up. Spilling to the other side. Coming back up one more time each side. And on this last time, let's bring the arm up. Oh, opening up the sides of those ribs. And coming back up, other side. Oh, good. And maybe just give the shoulders a couple little rolls, jiggles. And let's go into my personal favorite, the release of the foot. So let's take a second to warm up the hands. And take those warm hands and just start kneading the fleshy part of the foot in between the toe pads and that big heel pad, and just start gently rubbing and releasing that area. There are so many bones, there are so many muscles, there are so many tendons in the feet. They're actually very, very complex, and we don't often give them enough credit for all of the hard work they do for us. So we've done a little bit of rubbing. Let's take the heel and just kind of massage around the perimeter of that heel, or that big kind of callousy circle. And take notice if there's any spots that stick out to you, and maybe just spend a little bit of a moment there in those sticky spots. And from there, let's give the toes a little friction. I'm just rubbing my toes in between my hands like this to give them some blood flow. And from here, I'm going to weave my fingers in between my toes. You're definitely going to want to wash your hands after this class. Sorry for not warning you. We're touching our feet. And so we've created our own kind of yoga toes, except they're not expensive and fancy. This is just your own hand, and you're feeling just the joints of those toes expand and stretch out. And you can give them a little circle one way, maybe a little circle the other way, being gentle, responding to what your body needs, not necessarily what I'm telling you. And you can do a little point and flex of those toes and release it. And then gently, we want to pull each toe just a little bit. And then we're going to scissor each toe. So I want to take my big toe, and I guess the equivalent of like the pointer finger, the pointer toe, and I'm just going to scissor them a couple of times. Then I take pointer toe and middle toe and scissor them. Middle toe and ring toe and scissor them. And ring toe and pinky toe and give them a little scissor. Good. And maybe just one rub down of the foot. One hand on the bottom of the foot, one hand on the top of the foot. And we're going to place that foot on our chair and give some strokes upward. So you're going to give a little pressure to that calf muscle as you're coming up the leg towards the knee. This little massage, what this helps us do is it's really easy for things to kind of pool into the feet, get stagnant into the feet. So by releasing it up this way, you're helping your body defy gravity, getting that blood back towards the heart, getting, if there's any inflammation, out and back into the body to diminish itself. So a couple more little kind of side of the calf massages. Give it a couple heel stamps out. And let's move into the other side. Bringing the foot up. And massaging in between the toe pads and the heel pads of the foot. Taking note if there's any spots that kind of stick out to you, maybe spend an extra second there, giving it a little bit more release, a little bit more love. And coming around the heel, giving it little squeezes, little massages. I always can find some sticky spots around this area on my feet. And from there, giving the toes a little rub down, warming them up. And flossing the toes with the fingers. Good. And once that's been done, take a minute there to just feel the bones of the feet, the toes, relaxing. You're giving them space. That must feel good. It might feel a little bit achy or painful or bizarre and unfamiliar. If it feels sharp and painful, please stop doing it. Giving little rotations in one direction and rotations in the other, and little points and flexes of the toes, just wiggling those joints open. And from there, release. And we're going to give each toe a little traction. If you get a crack, that's just a little like chiropractic bonus gift, but it's not, don't force a crack. And scissoring the toes, big toe and pointer toe and middle toe and ring toe and pinky toe. And just a little rub. One hand on the top of the foot, one hand on the bottom of the foot. Good. And bring that heel to the chair and stroking up the shin, or the sides of the shin, pardon me, stroking up the meaty parts of the calf that are on the sides of the leg. There we go. That's what we want. This should feel good, by the way. If it's not feeling good, do less pressure. Good. And now let's just take a second to kind of jiggle those heels into the ground and feel the muscles jiggling side to side, and just kind of like shake the muscles on the bone. And shake one more time. Nice. Feeling that vibration, relaxation. And we'll come back to this crossed over position. We're going to flex this foot, having this knee bent, sitting up as tall as possible, and hinging forward with a flat back. As you can see, I'm very tight today. My hinge is not much. If you're amazing and you have very loose rotators, you can always press the knee down a little bit. Play with how your torso is in relationship with your leg. And we're just going to sit here and release our glutes. And we'll ease into it. So you don't have to force it and go to your 100% max right away. You might not reach that 100% max at all tonight, and that's also okay. And a release out of that. And right away, let's stretch the front of that thigh, or front of that hip, I should say. So we're going to swizzle to one side, coming to the end of the chair. I'm going to place one hand in between my legs, the other hand on the back of my chair, and the leg that is closest to you is going to press back into a nice kind of supported lunge. Super duper lazy. Good bedtime stretches. And you don't have to have that knee straight in the back. If you want a bent knee, that's also okay. Do what feels good on the front of that hip. And if you want a little bit more, bring that arm up and over the back of your chair, getting a little bit more into that psoas. And release it. Coming back, and other leg. Crossing it up and over. Sitting up nice and tall. And hinging forward. And you don't need to force it because we'll be here for a little while. And also, just to let you know, I will let you know when we've hit our 30-minute mark, and you can always leave then. But I have probably about 40 minutes of work planned and stretching planned today. So you can stay for that whole time, or you can leave whenever you need. And we feel that glute opening up, and it is talking to me tonight. I don't know how your glutes are feeling, but my goodness, so many meetings, interactions, classes are now on Zoom. I find myself sitting and staring at my computer for way more hours out of the day than normal, and my body is paying that consequence, which is why I started this class. All right, let's come out of that and let's switch it. Swizzling to the other side of our chair, hand in between the legs, other hand on the back of the chair. This leg that's dropped down extends out into that nice supported lunge. And you can play here with bending that back leg, straightening it. If you want to give it a little bit more oomph, you can bring that hand up and over the back of your chair. Breathing deeply, the fronts of the hips are always a little tender. Be gentle with them. Don't force it. Coax it into a release. And release it. Good. And actually, while we're here, let's hold on to the bottoms of our chairs, so the seats of the chair, sitting up nice and tall. And let's just release the head to one side. And on this third exhale, let's roll it down to our chest and roll it to the other side. This is a great opportunity to let that jaw hang slack. Hopefully the stressful, tension-filled part of your day is done. And now you take the time rolling the head to the front and rolling it up. Let's come up to standing. And let's go right into those calf stretches that we've done every week now. So one leg behind us. We're just holding on to the backs of our chair for some support, making your life nice and easy so we can just focus on our calf. Try bending and straightening that leg, seeing if you can get into the different muscles and fibers. Oh, and when we're here, I want to just talk out loud for a second. I'm going to remind myself that my shoulders are relaxed. I'm working on my calf and I'm working on releasing. I don't need to hold tension in my shoulders. I don't need to hold tension in my neck. Just remembering that the jaw is relaxed. You can let your gaze soften. Every time you inhale and exhale, you're coaxing your calf into release. You're not pressing it and demanding it to. You're just letting it be. And if it's not going to release, cool. That's just how it's going to be tonight, and you're doing your best. And when you're ready, step both legs together at the back. And transfer. And we're stretching another calf, which means we're getting some more feedback. Another moment to say, all right, my hips don't need to be holding tension. My jaw is still relaxed. Oh, maybe even give it a big yawn. Getting air, oxygen to that brain. I'm reminding myself that my shoulders are relaxed. For some reason, they're creeping up by my ears tonight. And we'll just be here for 1 and 2 more breaths. And stepping those feet together and coming up to the chair. Coming around to the other side of the chair or giving it a flip. We're going to place a foot on the chair and we're going to just go into some hamstring stretches. So we're going to stand up nice and tall and hinging forward. Holding on to that chair wherever it feels good. And just feeling the back of the leg relax, release, stretch. Trying to maintain even hips here. So we're not sitting and sinking, but we're still in proper alignment. Reminding the jaw, the shoulders, oh, the ribs, the eyes, the hips, that they're allowed to relax, bringing that leg down, standing up tall, switching sides, inhale in, and on the exhale, fold it forward. And just settle into what this information is giving you, how one side is different than the other. Seeing, I wonder, I'm playing with the image right now of shooting my heel in one direction and shooting my sit bone in the other direction, seeing if maybe that idea of opposition in my leg can help me find more stretch, more space, more release. And one more big breath here. And on the exhale, release it. Coming up to standing. We're going to move the chair to the end of our mat. We'll be using that later in a moment. Let's come down to seated. Let me adjust this quickly. There we go. We come to seated. And we're going to bring one leg behind us with the foot flexed, the other leg in front of us with the foot flexed. And we're kind of going to play with the Pilates mermaid, which is a nice side stretchy feeling. So we're going to inhale, bringing one up, and exhale, over. Inhale. And exhale. Let's see if we can reach a little bit farther and come up. Other side, inhale. Exhale, side stretch over. Inhale. See if we can billow up, fulfill that stretch even more. And on the exhale, let's reach a little further and come up. One more time each side. Inhale. Exhaling, reaching over. Inhale, fulfilling that stretch. And exhale, reach a little bit further and come up. Last time, inhale. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale. And exhale, reach a little further, going up. Now we're going to switch legs on the other side. Inhale. Exhaling over. Inhale to fulfill. And exhale, reach a little bit further, coming. Inhale. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale. And exhale, reaching further to come up. Inhale. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale. Exhale, reach it a little further and come up. Last one, inhale. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale. Exhale, reach it a little bit further to come up. Great. And putting your hand on this hip, we're going to find some mobility, some rotation. It's almost like a massage for that hip joint. This should feel really nice. And guiding with this back leg, we're going to spiral and push forward. And guiding with that sit bone going down to the ground, we're going to root that sit bone down. And forward and down. And forward and down. So what's happening here, if this is your leg bone and this is your hip socket, I'm just finding some rotation in that joint, kind of like a little release, a little massage. Maybe if you're lucky, you get a little chiropractic adjustment for free. And from here, find a couple more little rotations in that hip socket. And let's switch legs. Finding some rotations in the other hip socket. Oh wow, that just made my back pop. And find fluidity, find whatever breath works for you. Find that rotation in the hip joint. And it should feel really nice. Like it really does feel like a massage in that hip. Kind of that ebb and flow. All right. And come out of that. So we are now at our 30-minute mark. If now is your time to leave, have a good night. And if you want to stay for a few minutes more, we will get into a little bit more torso, back, neck release. All right. So let's come to a child's pose now. I'm going to face you. This will look. So I'm going to come to a wide-legged child's pose. And I'm going to have my hands in front of me. My forehead is on the ground. And take a few breaths here to just feel the back expand and release. And we're going to walk to one side. So we're going to reach on a diagonal to one side and match hands. And just feel that opening up. Walking the hands back to center. Take one big breath here to neutralize the spine. And crawl over to the other side. Crawling back to center. We'll have one more sort of stretch on the knees. Let's come to all fours. And we're going to reach one arm up in a twist. We're going to scoop those fingers and feed it through that hole until your whole arm, let's see if I do it this way, until your whole arm is on the ground. And then you can sink your hips down to your knees, feeling that stretch. Breathing deeply here. And coming back up. And other side. Reach up. Find a little twist. And then carve those fingers through that hole until the arm is straight and on the ground. And do what you need to do with the rest of the torso, whether it's bringing the hips down, keeping them up, maybe playing with them going side to side. One more deep breath here. And come out of it. Oh, good. We're going to take a second and yeah. Let's do one last thing here. Find yourself in a comfortable seat. And we're going to clasp our hands behind our back and push or root those hands down, feeling the front of the chest open up. And we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths. Feeling the shoulders open, the sternum shines towards the sky. And release that. And we're going to go into a couple of sort of somatic circles, and then we will do a little bit of releasing, relaxing. I'm going to do one more adjustment. All right. So from here, let's come down onto our backs. Let's have one leg straight, the other come up and over, and the hands are kind of going to be together. And this should feel delightfully comfortable. This might even be a position some of you sleep in. And from here, our top arm, we're just going to draw big circles. Feeling the twist in the back, feeling the pec open up, coming down, feeling that hip open up and slide. Oh, feeling the armpit, the ribs open up. And we're going to do 3 circles in one direction, like you have a crayon attached to your fingers and you're drawing big circles, like a big lazy compass on the ground, a big lazy kind of, not protractor, yeah, compass. And then we're going to do 3 big lazy circles in the other direction. Feeling that shoulder joint mobilizing, feeling the hip mobilizing, feeling the spine mobilizing, feeling the neck mobilizing. And when you're done those 3 lazy circles, come back up. And we'll go to the other side, extending one leg, coming up and over into that nice sleepy pose. And big lazy circles in one direction with that imaginary pencil in your hand, drawing big lazy circles on the ground. And we go in the opposite direction after you have done 3. And once you're done, come up. We are now going to come to our chair. And we've been ending class kind of like this. Having our chair. We're going to place our shins on the seat of the chair. So we're going to support our legs, rolling down, getting comfy, wiggle, adjust, do what you need to do. We're going to play with my theme this week in all of my classes has been opposition. So we're going to press down into our thighs and see if we can feel the space grow in that lower spine. And release. Inhale. And on the exhale, find some tractioning in that back. Release. And exhale, pressing those thighs down. Release. Cradling the weight of your head in your hands. See if you can just gently, gently, gently traction your head with the spine, elongating the neck. Inhale, release. And exhale, finding some tractioning in that neck. Inhale, release. And exhale, finding tractioning in that neck. And place the head down on the mat. There we go. And wrapping your arms around a big kind of hug, feeling the upper back release onto the mat. And we'll be here for 3 more breaths. Feeling the spine long. Feeling the jaw relaxed. Feeling all the muscles of the torso relax. Feeling the muscles of the legs relax. And bring the arms down by your side into a gentle kind of low V. Let's have the palms face the ceiling. Closing the eyes. And your feet have been released. Your calves are released. Your hamstrings and your thighs are released. Your hips are released. Your spine has loads of space in between each vertebra and is expanding and is released. Your ribs are floating and free and released. The collarbones, the scapula, the arms are all dangling off of your spine and released. The jaw is hanging off of your cranium. And your brain, your skull, your eyes are all released and sinking down, giving in to gravity. And you can take one more breath here. And on the exhale, open your eyes. Bring your thighs into your chest. Rocking onto the side of the body. Pressing your top hand down into the ground and come to sit up. And take it slow for the next couple of minutes. You might feel a little high on relaxation. That's the goal. Thank you so much for joining. It means so much that people are attending this class. That's pretty cool. My name is Haylee, and I will be here next Wednesday for bedtime stretches. Feel free to reach out to me via email, on my website, on Instagram, on Facebook. If you want requests, send them my way. I'm always happy to adapt classes for your needs. They are here for you. Have a beautiful night. Sleep tight, and I will see you Friday morning for Pilates. Bye bye.